Miss Christina, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me and talking with me.
So the MOMATHON, this is my second year,
Yes.
but I feel really at home. I've met so many awesome ladies that I've connected with, and we actually have been staying in contact through the year, texting and everything.
Good.
So I appreciate that. Now, how many registrants did you actually get this year?
This year we had about 125, but of course, because we serve a community of moms, there were ladies who had life happen at the last minute. So I think we had about 115 that were actually here on site with us.
Okay, all right. Now, the conference, I know this was the decade. You celebrated 10 years.
Yes.
Was there a particular theme or maybe something you and your team were working with kind of behind the scenes to motivate you?
I have found over the years, MOMATHON has changed a lot since I first started. I think when I first started the conference or the gathering, it was just to support moms, you know, like, hey, we see you, you're appreciated here. Bring, if life feels messy or chaotic, like just bring it here and we'll love on you. And I think through the years and me having to, I want to say prune, you know, work through how to do the event bigger and better every year, that has transpired into bringing more moms in who are women on a mission, you know, who have nonprofits in their heart, who are business owners, who are working in public office, or policies, all these different areas where we are change makers, but sometimes being a change maker is a lot of work. And it can be heavy or exhausting. And so the goal this year was powerful, purposeful partnerships so that you can do your work more sustainably. And that has been what I've had to hold to the last several years, you know, is how do I do this again next year, but still have my fire and my purpose behind it, loving what I do.
Wow. Well, I know since you're so popular and you're in Ebony and all the major magazines, I mean, you have people coming to you.
Yes.
And you always have had these awesome speakers. This weekend was just phenomenal.
Thank you.
How do you select who's going to come to the conference?
So, you know, I really do pray about it. I have had experiences in the past where maybe I thought I prayed or thought I considered it, and the person came and gave my team trouble, or, you know, maybe there was something that happened. Any type of over the topness in a way that is like, I don't know, like I get a feel about it. And so I really do ask the Lord to give me discernment about who I bring to MOMATHON. I also try not to hold to who's the big name person, you know, because even, for example, our keynote on Sunday was the VP of Truist Bank here in Atlanta, Minister Erin Floyd. You know, it's like, she's amazing. She's a change maker. She's a big deal, but I didn't invite her because she's a big deal. I invited her because I trusted her spirit. And I think that those are different. You know, sometimes we're building events or creating things, and, you know, we're doing it because that person is popping or that person is doing all the stuff, versus you may have never ever heard of Dr. Shawnette Parker. But when you think about working in education and building your community, she's the person that helps you get funded. You know, you may not have ever heard of her, but she's someone that's a real catalyst for change in our communities. So I think that it's important that as your network expands, you think of not who's the big name all the time, but the person who really has some valuable lessons to teach.
Right. And well, it's working.
Thank
you.
you.
It's definitely working.
Thank you.
And as you're more than aware, I mean, many organizations similar to yours don't last several months, let alone 10 years. 10 years. So what is the secret to the MOMATHON success and sustainability?
This sounds so funny. I think I'm a glutton for punishment at this point. I think I wake up in the morning and I say, oh, how can I just, you know, do something over the top? This year was exponentially more than I had ever imagined. But I try to just follow God and say yes to the next thing. You know, I may say, you know what, Lord, I believe that we're supposed to do this in this way. And as the attendees grow, the budget changes. As the budget changes, partnerships change to help bring those things to life. Every year, there's a cycle of women who come in, right, who are like, oh, I found this at the perfect season. There are ladies who feel like, okay, I think I got it for a while, and they cycle out. So I'm just learning, you know, every year as I meet new people, every time I show up, the partners show up too. And so I think that as for people who want to build something that's more consistent and take it up a notch, you know, in the ways that they're envisioning, I think it is really important to be resilient and from a coaching side to troubleshoot after the project is over, which would be what's working well, didn't go the way you planned. Like you saw it being a certain kind of way, it didn't go the way you planned. Okay, that's not a bad thing. It just didn't go the way we planned. And then what will we do differently between this year and next year? And so one of the things I did this year was lock everybody in. Hey, listen, we're looking at October. Do you all like this venue? Keep a lookout for ticket information for this, and this, so that we can go ahead and start planning for a year from now.
Yeah.
Are you all on board?
Yeah.
And I'll say that MOMATHON now has crafted into something that is bigger than Christina, because every woman, everyone here that comes is a leader in their own way. It's not just me, but we just happen to come here and gather in this one place as women who love the Lord and love their families and are serious about community change.
Yeah, and that is true. And I think when I came last year, I'm figuring I'm the oldest person in the room.
Not at all, and you're really.
But the diversity
Yes,
of experiences
yes,
and ages, so I felt
That's so
comfortable
dynamic,
as many
yes.
of us, of a certain age, but I just appreciate that every age, every particular profession is
Yes.
appreciated.
Yes.
And it's not, as you said, labels are not even part of it. It's just
Yes.
the fellowship and all of that makes it so
yes.
special.
And I have to say, we have mentor mamas. We really, really appreciate those who, okay, my kids are in high school now, can minister and speak to those moms with children who are still in diapers and let them know you will survive. And the mamas whose kids are grown and quote unquote flown-ish, they're kind of flown. Hey, listen, you're going to make it to this point. And the mamas who are grandmothers and great grandmothers in this space now, we can say, hey, we're going to gather around you and make sure that you have the tools you need, so you don't feel like the life that I have is too challenging that I won't be able to succeed at the same time.
Yeah, and that's what makes
We
it so
need that.
great. Well, you're not just one faceted. I mean, MOMATHON has all kinds of great programs, including your coaching. So who would benefit from that, and what's the purpose of the coaching concept?
Well, for MOMATHON, I'll say this for myself personally. I came into coaching looking to have a stronger coaching business. So I wanted to learn how to, of course, practice sustainability, but I wanted to learn what are the things that I'm not doing. I started intentionally remembering I'm not a unicorn. Okay, so if one person can build something successful, you can, they can, I can, we all can build something successful. I'm not a unicorn. I'm not that different from these other folks that I'm missing something. So I intentionally went to go look for, mentors, people who have been there, done that, to help me do it too. And I found sometimes we compare mentorship versus coaching, but I think of some of our facilitators as mentors that I could check in with them about how I'm doing something, versus a coach. I meet with my clients every week, every month, it's routinely as they work on projects. So I'll say that for coaching, I always came in with an idea of, this is someone from the outside looking in. And when we have the slip of the tongue of those things where it's like, I really want to do this, but what's that reason that you feel like you can't do that? Can we just sit with that for a little while? Who was it that told you you couldn't do that? Who, what happened that this, and this, that you feel like you don't have the tools you need? Okay, maybe you don't have the tools. Who do you need to go to? Everybody's been coached somewhere, whether it was in sports, whether it was your mentor, pastor, mother, older motherhood. They've coached you, but sometimes now we're in our present, very adultish, grown age. One, we may have all these thoughts and ideas that we just keep inside, so it's helpful for accountability. But then also it really helps for us to identify the thoughts or actions that are not getting us to our goal as fast as we want to. And that's just the human mind. Yeah. I have clients who are therapists, right? I have clients who are educated, the smartest women on the planet. They got doctorates, and they still come because their human mind does something that we all do, where we say, I want this, but my brain tells me that there's something that's keeping me from that, or I'm in survival mode, or whatever. How can we work through that in a more sustainable way to build the idea? And everybody in your life, a lot of us, we have friends who hold us quote unquote accountable, but sometimes it's the blind leading the blind, or they love you too much to tell you the truth, and I'm like, that's not going to get you there, or why are we still doing that again? And people, when we love them in our lives, a lot of times they love us so much they don't want to agitate us, but some of us need to move towards people who will challenge us. And I think that that's what coaching is for, is that we should always be challenged, and we should always feel like, there is something, what is my something more, right, and what's the support I need to get me there.
Wow, okay, that is awesome. So anyone can benefit
absolutely.
From coaching.
Absolutely.
Now, I know your husband mentioned yesterday that you began MOMATHON to walk alongside women. So how has that mission changed since you started it 10 years ago?
I think the core of it is still there. I think that in that season, I was a mom who was trying to find her way, you know. So MOMATHON started with we just want you to feel seen. You're welcome here. And then over the years, it's transformed into, oh wow, so in this 2025, 300,000 plus Black women are now out of jobs, okay? Black women, I'm not sure the communities you serve, right? But you're a sister and I'm a sister, we're sitting here together. So they are the most underserved, underfunded businesses, organizations that there is. So we have all of these components that are also stifling out the thriving of a healthy family. And so when we think about now, MOMATHON, okay, so we want to help serve the moms, make your family stronger. Okay, so we got to talk about parenting, co-parenting, relationships. We have to talk about work-life balance, because why are you overworking? It's something inside that makes me say, I'm not enough if I'm not working as hard at this level. I feel like I'm a superhero. I think that there's all of these intertwined things. So we bring in education organizations and we bring in maternal health organizations, because some of us haven't unpacked our birth experience, like one of the maternal health ladies said. So I think now we're looking at the bigger picture of what MOMATHON is becoming, which is how can we serve multifaceted and make it a resource hub. You know, really want to make it a resource hub for women who want to have a thriving family. But there's so many moving pieces: financial empowerment, you know, mental and spiritual health. We have, like, you've got a business or your kids are in school. Like, these are all things that affect a family ecosystem. And so we want to make sure that when they get here, they have the resources they need.
Okay. Well, as you talk about all those different areas, what's on the agenda for next year?
Oh my goodness. So I promise you, I have to say this because I'm a very transparent person. I came like, oh, I'm going to do a workshop day next year. Like, we could do a really amazing one day, like a thing, you know, just how can I pivot and make it, you know, easier, all the things. And even my mom this weekend, she was like, something amazing is happening and you have to do it again. And my husband was like, something was, and we had to, and everybody's like, we're marking down for next year and all these things, and we're ready. And so I've just been prayerfully considering, you know, MOMATHON conference will be in October, again next year during Women's Small Business Month. We haven't picked a date yet, but as soon as we do, I'm gonna, you know, disperse that information. Alongside that, we've been doing, since the conference is usually here in Atlanta, so because people fly in, we have a brunch that we do in Montgomery, Alabama, where I'm located, that has been an addendum on to, I don't know how it got there, but I think I just wanted to show that we do events in Alabama as well. And so then alongside that, we have the mastermind for coaching. That's all year. I've been considering other workshop and deliverable things with some of the sponsors to keep the programming going, the content going, so that it's never like, oh, we'll see you in October. What's happening in January, February, March, I think is really important too.
Yeah, everyone wants to stay connected.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
so you've just drawn us to want to do that.
Yes, I'm
So now, how can people reach you? How can they get more information, not only on what you're doing now, next year, and all the other things that are coming down the pipe?
Absolutely. So they can go to the momathonmovement.com. There they can join the email list. They can find out about coaching support. The conference page, you'll see the weekend is passing. However, we will have more information and we'll just go ahead and be ahead of the curve for those updated events. But they can go to the momathonmovement.com to reach out to me. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook as well, the MOMATHON Diaries.
Awesome. I hope you get some rest.
I will. I feel pretty good, and I'm excited about like a big plate of food. They have like this brisket platter in the restaurant. I'm gonna go do exactly that. I'm not tired yet, so but when I will, I'm gonna sleep good.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna be showing this not only to my team but to our moms in Columbus, Ohio. And I just appreciate all the work that you're doing, and you're impacting lives all over the country.
Thank you. However I can serve your community, it's always my honor.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Oh my
Got a
God.
full on, what you call it? You got a YouTube video, 15 minutes.